What's up, everybody? Looks like we got people eagerly jumping in right out the get-go. Got a few bodies already, lots of bodies already in. So welcome to Dueling Aces as we got a few stragglers coming in. Those divisions will be popping in here shortly or eventually. We got Acres in the dark, Doug's in the dark. I can see Doug a little bit more than Acres. Oh, Acres.
We don't even see Acres, so that's okay.
Yeah. But Suds won't be
My
joining.
best John Cena impression.
He's bowling already. Hey, goober. So, it is what it is. But how the hell are y'all? And as we gain into not only just NFL season here, I'll tell you what, after looking through my division, it's like, ooh, this will be fun. It's not. Looks like there could be a lot. I was talking to a few guys on the draft weekend, and they said this season's going to be flat out weird. Weird's an understatement. What's up, Kev? You guys' thoughts as you've gone through your divisions on overall thinking on how the season's going to go.
I don't think it's going to be as weird as other people think it's going to be. I think it'll be weird to start, but every season's a little funky at the beginning, and then by about week 6, week 7, things start to even out. The only thing I would be interested to see is the Super Bowl hangover for both the Rams and the Bengals. Because the Bengals made it to the Super Bowl last year, but they weren't supposed to be that good that quick. Is it a fluke, or do they capitalize on it? And can Burrow adapt now that there is a ton of film on him? That's where the weirdness, I think, comes in. Is the Super Bowl hangover for both of those teams.
2014.
The other thing, though, is you have the Deshaun Watson suspension. That'll come about in week 11 or week 13. He'll be able to play. But coming down the pipe is what's happening to the Commanders. And I wouldn't be surprised if that breaks midseason. And to see the chaos that could throw out there.
True. I don't disagree by any stretch. I don't think that the Rams have just kind of, I think, swapped some bodies, but as a core, there wasn't too much lost. I think it was just one or two guys, and then they've just swapped pieces. I think they're even still. The Seahawks, the loss of Russell Wilson, I think is huge. A very big blow to that squad, especially for the garbage that they got in return. And I know that is going to make it a very weird season for them. I mean, they just gave DK Metcalf a nice big fat contract. It's like, all right, well, let's see what the kid does from here. I mean, granted, you've got to have a quarterback that's going to throw to him, and they've already established today, there were a couple establishments that not only is Baker Mayfield the starter in week 1 for Carolina, but that Geno Smith is also your starting quarterback for the Seahawks. So a couple of solid announcements have come out as far as that goes. Pittsburgh, I hear, is still
nobody cares.
It's leaning towards Mitch. So definitely plan on that. But, I mean, Toner even came around and said the Kool-Aid tasted better last week than it did this week. I was like, see, I told you. Too much Kool-Aid is a bad thing.
I was laughing at the newscaster yesterday when they were talking about the Steelers offense, and they said, who should start for the Steelers week 1? Do we see Mitch Trubisky? Do we see them throwing their young boy in there? Or does Mason get to start? And I'm going, dude, you should be fired just for throwing that name in there.
Yeah, 100%.
I'm like, there's no. I was like, if
There's
they
no
give
way
it to
he's gonna
Kenny, it's
start.
because they just
None.
want to move forward and get Kenny in there. But I think they should start Mitch the first week and let Kenny kind of develop a little bit because that division is not an easy division just to throw somebody into the wolves. I mean, that division is hungry. There are two teams that don't have a Super Bowl, and they won it.
Cleveland's not going anywhere near a Super Bowl this year, and quite frankly,
You
neither.
just got to make the playoffs, just like we always said about the Bengals.
They're not going to though. And
That's the question. Are they going to do that?
no, they're not. They're going to get close, but they're
Okay.
not. The thing with the Steelers though is you don't play safe and then put Kenny Pickett in. Play Kenny Pickett to start, play him all year, let him take his lumps, let him learn how to adapt, let him learn how to adjust, let him learn how to read the defenses that he's going to be playing consistently, especially those in the AFC North, and just take your chances with it. You did with Ben Roethlisberger all those years ago, and in about 2 seasons, it got you to a Super Bowl.
Yeah, but Rossberger actually had weapons with him in the same process.
And he had a defense, but you have to rebuild that team. I would rather see what I have with Kenny Pickett now than let an ailing Mitch Trubisky struggle for me for 4 weeks when I could have maybe had a win or two.
Ailing and aging, where do you think he is?
I mean, that dude.
Years.
Listen, Mitch Trubisky and Methuselah have a lot in common.
What is he, 28?
Not even.
Not even. Not
26.
yet.
What is he?
Physically, he's not that old. NFL-wise, he's fucking ancient. That dude spent
Not for
more
a
time
quarterback, though. Not for a quarterback. You got to look at the position. Not for a quarterback.
Doug, that dude has spent more time on the ground than a hooker in a
Well, look
whorehouse.
where he's been. Jesus Christ.
Exactly.
Chicago, really?
Look who his coach was.
Yeah.
Again.
Nagy?
He has spent more time on his back than a lady of the
Bad
night.
offensive line.
It's not an excuse.
When you combine everything, it kind of is. Let's see where he is in Pittsburgh, what he's gonna do.
I got the quote that sums up exactly what Bruiser was saying. It's not the years, it's the mileage.
The mileage. That is correct. And
Well,
he took a lot of
he may
mileage
have
going
because he's
backwards.
running for his life all the freaking time.
Right.
Well, I was going to say, does he get all the years back when he runs backwards?
No, this is not a
Didn't work for
Ferrari.
Ferris.
Yeah. And to be quite honest, like Mitch Trubisky had an opportunity to be a talent had he gone to the exact right situation. He
And the
did.
problem is he didn't.
And so now he is no better than Tim Couch or Joey Harrington or a list of quarterbacks that have washed out that had potential.
Baker Mayfield.
No.
No, I don't think you could really include Mayfield in that one.
I know.
Who do this?
I figured
Who
somebody
do-
was.
Who's the first game for the Steelers?
Oh, I have to look. I'd have to look. I don't remember.
We were talking about it the other day, and I forget which one they got first. Was it Cincy?
Probably the Jets.
I don't think we have the Jets this year.
I was going to say.
Yes, we are, Jason.
Bennett, what's happening, sir? How are you?
The Bengals.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
my
I thought it
God.
was the Bengals.
Yeah, you got to start Mitch because you can't throw Pickett into that mess.
But I mean, I'm going
No.
with what Bruiser said. The same thing too. It's your division. Like if it was somebody else in the NFL, such as like Tampa Bay, for an example, because I don't think they played Tampa this year. If it was Tampa Bay, I can understand throwing Mitch in. But
Right.
you're facing Cincy, so that's your gamble.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a commissary you're going to go with it. I mean, you
If
can't
you're
let
playing-
Cincy start the season off right on top of you right away.
If you're playing the Jets or the Jaguars or even the
Houston.
Dolphins, Houston, the Cardinals for that matter, week 1, Sure, start Trubisky, see what he does. But you're gonna be Kenny Pickett is gonna be is theoretically going to be playing the Bengals, the Ravens, and the Browns for the next 10 to 12 years if his career lasts that long.
Correct.
So you might as well get his feet wet now, and you might as well feed him to the Lions now and see what he does.
I don't think he'd be a bad quarterback in the association, but unless if they don't get him any weapons, and they ain't gonna help him none. At least get people that actually catch the ball and not dance in the end zone, TikToking. But they just lost Washington too, didn't they?
He went to the Cowboys.
You're asking me questions and I don't have my notes in front of me.
I was just going by yesterday's because I was like, get a chance to sit down and just go over some things, and I was like, did you just say Washington went to what?
Who are you talking about? Deontay Johnson?
Yeah,
Yeah, you said Washington.
I did say Washington.
Yeah.
He went to the Cowboys.
Deontay
And
Johnson.
he got hurt.
That's okay. Who do they got left?
Claypool.
I was just saying nobody drafted Claypool in the Michigan League.
So they got Claypool and
Claypool never got
Miller.
touched.
No, wait, it wasn't Heath. Who's the tight end?
Fire Moose.
Yeah, Fired Moose.
Yeah, in total, there were only the 3 Steelers that even got drafted in the MIAC's draft.
And
That's-
Najee was obviously the first.
Yep, it was Najee, Johnson, and Freiermuth.
And I feel bad for Najee because
Freiermuth, I don't think he gets drafted.
Didn't Kenny Pickett get drafted?
Nope.
in the 12-man league he might.
I was gonna say. And next week there might be a possibility. Chipper will be in here, so yeah. Expect the Steelers defense and a lot more Pittsburgh players that Chipper will probably draft.
He can have the Steelers defense.
I was gonna say you're welcome to him.
Yeah.
Better draft him early.
I know. They're on first on everybody's list right now.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Right. Yeah, I made a big boo-boo in my Yahoo one last night. I didn't realize it. I don't normally take 2 defenses, but I said, screw it, I'm going to do it this year. I took both fucking LA defenses.
Stop.
That's not bad, though. That's good, D's.
It's not, because I know the Chargers got a lot of new tools on that, defensive side. So,
Yeah, they got Khalil Mack sitting right next to Bosa.
Yep. Now that's what I've been saying. The same thing. Like the Browns did something like that behind Miles. Stick another. They don't even have to be a strong linebacker. It's just someone who's quick, because you can't block both of them. If they switch that defense into a 3-4 defense, that defense is going to be killer.
I think Koromora could be that guy, but he was just a rookie last year.
Yeah. And that's what I said. John Johnson's
about
getting
adding
faster.
Stu.
No, they said they passed on Sue. That it's
Hell, the Raiders passed on Sue.
Oh, I thought you said that.
The Raiders passed on Sue. The Browns are still mulling over Sue for at least 1 year.
That's what I said too. You put Clowney, Sue, and Garrett in the front 3, and then you have either John Johnson playing the side out or the outside linebacker.
You're running a 4-3.
I know that, but with those 3 guys, why wouldn't you switch them?
Because then you'd have to switch the entire defensive identity. You would literally gut the defense and have to.
And you're literally talking about different skill sets for 4-3 and 3-4. The guys that you've got for 4-3 aren't necessarily going to be able to do a 3-4. At least not to any degree.
Stay with you, like they're doing the 4-3. You throw Sue in there, right?
But
that'd be a tackle, right? Yeah.
But you're still talking about the linebackers in the secondary that you'd have to change.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. Say you did add the addition of Sue. Could you, at that point, then stand up Clowney as a linebacker?
I would stand up Garrett.
I was going
to say.
But Garrett and Suggs are similar, and they did that to Suggs. And Suggs says, no, I want back on the defensive end because he gets that power coming out on that swing.
Well, that's
And
See,
why I said Clowney instead of Garrett.
Garrett
yeah,
Garrett is a more athletic, faster Dwight Freeney.
okay.
Zolt is looking at me like I said something absolutely wrong.
Asinine.
No, I was actually reading
Listen,
something. It's all good.
he he's drinking
But
his
he
he's drinking his hot chocolate and marshmallows behind that
but
fire
he
right
is
there.
he
Waiting for the piano guy to show up.
Garrett is a more athletic, more explosive Dwight Freeney, and we all know how good Dwight Freeney was.
Yeah.
I mean, now with Clowney there, now you got to pick: are you going to double team Clowney or are you going to double team Garrett?
And
And
that's
if
what
you
I was,
add and
The only problem,
if you add Sue to that line, now who are you going to double team?
that's what I'm saying. You can't double team all three of them. There's no way.
Well, you
well,
got
You
the
can't.
four on
problem,
there. So, I mean, who are you going to double team? Because you're going to leave something open.
well, the
I think
problem is,
the addition of Sue would be a good thing because I think that both Clowney and Garrett could get his head right. I mean, he did well in Tampa Bay. I've not heard a whole bunch about him over the past few years. So I think though that Clowney and Garrett can keep him because clearly Clowney is the leader or not Clowney, but Garrett is the leader on that defense.
Oh yeah.
So I don't.
I think that was a lot of issues that we had last year in Cleveland that Clowney and Garrett were not on the field at the same time a lot. And I know giving each other breaks is what it was, and Clowney was still coming off of somewhat of an injury. But
He was coming off an injury. He's healed now. You got Garrett
yeah,
who had that suspension, and now you are at a spot with a revamped defense and names and numbers on offense. I think Amari Cooper was an amazing addition to the Browns offense.
I agree.
I
I can't say I was happy, but I was happy.
mean, you have options, and Jacoby Brissett is not a bad option at quarterback while Deshaun Watson is out.
Correct.
He did well with Indy. He did well in that system, and
He should have done better, but he did well. Yes.
And you have a powerhouse duo with Chubb and
Hunt.
Hunt.
And that's the thing too is everybody's looking at it as what Hunt wants and everything like that. And I'm like, you gotta understand that Felton and Johnson are sitting right behind them. They're still decent running backs. There's still guys that are sitting behind Hunt. You know.
Hunt, I wouldn't be shocked if Hunt was dangled out there at the trade deadline.
So that's what I'm there. That's gonna happen. It's gonna happen.
I still think you need a blocking tight end. You need
Kind
somebody
of got one.
I still think you need someone to get out there on that jumbo set, especially when you're power running with Chubb.
That's why I joke around with a bunch of everybody. I was like, Will Fuller's still out there. It's just he
Cole
needs
Beasley.
Cole Beasley. See, but the bad thing about Cole is he takes one hit to the head, he's done.
Will Fuller might end up in a Ravens uniform this year.
Would not surprise me. I can't believe he hasn't signed with a team yet. But I said the same thing, but I see Bell was looking good yesterday. I mean, they've got some small receivers that need to come making up this hill, and they need to step up, and that's what needs to happen. You got a lot of names out there still that have not signed with a team. So either A, they're just really looking for money, and they don't really want to play, or they're just going to see what everybody wants to offer and then just be like, all right, I'm going to go here. But
you wait for an injury and then the price goes up.
Yep.
The
Well, I mean,
American way.
what's going to happen with Drake? I see the Raiders are going to release him, huh?
Who?
Kenyon Drake.
Oh
Yeah, I mean
yeah,
that's why he's looking.
yeah. They just traded was it Nick Mullins, the quarterback, to
To the
Minnesota
Vikings.
for a 7th-round conditional, which actually is not a bad trade. He wasn't going to make the team anyway. At least they got something for him.
So the odds to win the AFC North on Caesars are currently plus 1,000 for the Steelers at a probability of 9.1%. Cleveland at plus 400 at a probability of 20%. Cincinnati at plus 165 at 37.7%. And Baltimore at plus 140 at 41.7%.
What the fuck are they smoking?
I agree. I
Because
have
they're trying to bank on that JK is actually coming back to play.
No, he'll play, but it's going to be nowhere near what
I don't
they're
understand.
expecting.
Well, like they think JK is the best running back in the league.
Yeah.
Like when they're running with that, I'm like, no.
No.
I have the Bengals winning the division
Yes.
at 12-5. I have the Ravens at 10-7. The Browns at 9-8. And the Steelers at 7-10.
Not you, Reese. You went out.
I agree with that.
I can see that. You're still giving the Browns a winning season, which is
I honestly think you might be overvaluing Pittsburgh at 7-10.
at 7 wins.
Listen, when's the last time they're
However, the Steelers have been known to pull out wins that they shouldn't have in the past, which is why I gave them 7-10.
And I was going to say, when's the last time the Steelers actually had a losing season?
Not under Tomlin.
When's the last time they had a quarterback not named Ben?
A long, long time.
Who was the quarterback before Ben?
I don't know. I wasn't born yet.
You had to.
Tommy Maddox.
Listen, the last time the Steelers had a quarterback not named Ben Roethlisberger, I was still in high school. And I just had my 20-year reunion last summer. So.
Jesus Christ, he's been playing that long?
Yep.
Yeah.
2002.
Oh my God.
Cordell Stewart gets injured. Tommy Maddox goes on a 7-game winning streak. Maddox takes over the starting role. Maddox got injured. Ben Roethlisberger was drafted, comes in. Roethlisberger goes on a win streak, and Tommy never got to see the field again. Terry Bradshaw.
Good call, Brian.
I mean, the Steelers organization and the right coaches of what they've been doing and drafting the right players is a questionable thing of what they've been doing right. The last 2 years, I don't know. The last 2 years, I don't think
the
that was the
Steelers
right
have
time.
the Steelers have one of the top 3 organizations in football.
Correct.
From the top down, because the Rooneys are amazing owners. I think it you could go with, and in no particular order. You have the Steelers, you have the Patriots, and as much as George isn't going to want to hear this, the 49ers.
You gotta have the Cowboys in there though too.
Fuck no. Jerry Jones is senile and shitty.
He buys. He don't try drafts.
Exactly.
Yeah. Hey, Clint.
Did Mark Davis go in the institution too for what he's been doing? Did someone get him his Happy Meal?
I finally figured out who Mark Davis reminds me of. Do you guys remember the South Park episode where Cartman started the Ginger Cult?
I remember, but I don't remember like that. Like I know where I think you're going, but
I will find the picture and I will put it in the chat so you guys can see it. But when you look at it, you'll be like, "That's Mark Davis."
there was a meme one time that said something about Mark Davis looked like a microwave John Gruden or something like that, and I thought it
Oh
was
God!
fucking great.
Now that's funny.
I tell you what, if I'm just want to know what the hell Josh is going to do. I want to know what Josh is going to do with the Raiders. All them weapons.
Well,
He doesn't.
we're breaking that down later.
All right.
So hold your horses.
Yeah,
That's
right.
on my list. That's on my list.
Well, good. I've already done my recap. Now we can move on to another division.
I was gonna say he's gonna break it down just like, certain players are gonna break down. Adams tears an ACL and Waller breaks his ankle. And
No.
Renfro gets a DUI.
God.
There you go. Check the chat. That is Mark Davis.
Oh my God. Nice.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep. There's no denying it.
I'm telling you,
Played.
I was
Well
racking
played.
my brain all last season trying to figure out where.
Well played.
Oh,
Alrighty.
That is wrong, but that is perfect.
right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's correct.
So your feelers leader, where we sliding this at?
I was gonna say
We just did AFC North. Let's move on to somebody
Bruiser
else.
just did AFC North. I mean, he was already knocking it hard. So Akers, you're up.
Oh Jesus! Let's go with the other shitty division. Oh wait, sorry. So let's go here. We got good old NFC North. I mean, I kind of had a feeling, but I kind of like threw some numbers in my head looking at some of these schedules, and I mean, obviously, I got we're gonna say Detroit's gonna lead the way. Let's go with Detroit here.
Top or
What are we
bottom?
looking at?
George,
We all know Detroit's
did you
the
give
bottom.
him some of that Elijah Craig stuff to make him say that?
Man,
No.
literally going through Detroit.
That bottle has went straight from the car, straight to the baker's rack, next to the 2-liter of Captain that Jamie brought me.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah,
I didn't see much on the Detroit schedule here. I mean, they do got some couple of sorry teams playing there with here and there. So I got them at 4-13.
The Lions?
Wow.
Yeah, got them with 4-13. I mean, they got Seattle on the schedule. Seattle doesn't know what they're doing yet. Drew Lock will throw to defensive and throw a couple of touchdowns to the other team. Then we got the Chicago Bears. Not sure on which way they're going to run, but I was kind of lenient with them. I gave them 7-10. They don't have really much games. They got a Thursday night game, a Monday night. They got a Thursday and a Monday back to back. They're still going to lose against Washington and New England. So, and these two right here were my challenge. Minnesota and Green Bay. These were actually my challenge.
Hey,
staring
tell
at the schedule.
keep them down, damn it.
Staring at Minnesota's schedule, I really went back and forth. I had to put Green Bay's schedule and Minnesota's schedule together to make sure I didn't cross the wins and losses around. But Minnesota gets the Thanksgiving game. They get into New England, so I gave them a loss to New England actually because I don't think Minnesota will play very well. But I'm going to give them a 10-7 season.
Minnesota?
They do got I'm giving Minnesota 10-7 season, and one of the things is because they got the Giants, the Jets, Detroit, who's the other one? New Orleans early, New Orleans is the Europe game. Is that correct? I kept trying to find it, but I couldn't find it. It wasn't coming up.
I know the Seahawks and the Bucks, I believe, is the Germany game.
Right.
Germany.
Yeah.
Yep, they're in Germany.
So
It's in Munich,
Yeah.
right?
It's
Yeah.
London, Minnesota versus New Orleans in London on October 2nd.
I was trying. I don't know why, but ESPN would not load it up. It would just keep saying error every time I clicked. Where was it at?
Well, that's because you went to ESPN and not
Yeah, I know, right? Well, I can't do the NFL.com. It doesn't like my computer. And in Green Bay, I kind of like threw a number to my head. Well, and then I actually went through their schedule, and it's actually damn near close. I said 11-6. They got a lot of, they're playing Tampa Bay for one is one of their top ones. Tennessee is another game, and the Rams. I mean, they actually got some tough teams more than Minnesota, but because Minnesota has Arizona and Green Bay actually got the Rams.
What's going on?
You good?
That was the Chihuahua.
Jesus Christ, it sounds like you crapped your pants.
That's because I don't want to know what you
I
call
thought
it.
The
but-
Walking Dead was coming on.
No?
Is that Gremlins?
She was picking the Chihuahua up. But yeah, I mean, that would be the actual challenge on that one was Minnesota and Green Bay, and I guess really who's going to win that division really should be Green Bay. Aaron Rodgers, he always does it. I don't know how he does it. He does it. He always looks like shit, but then always finds a way. Hey, what's your name? You're going to be the starter today.
Oh, he ripped the new guys
You're fine.
in the locker room the other day, and he called them right out. Every one of you guys are playing like shit.
Yeah. All I know is I remember back in the days when they said about Favre when who was it? Who was it that got in there? Favre. He says, "How do you catch Favre's footballs?" And one of the guys said, well, "You better tape your fingers together, or he's going to break them." And they thought he was joking.
He's gonna do nothing to you.
And sure enough, he broke his the ring finger and pinky finger because they weren't taped together.
Can we put a fucking shot collar in Heather so she'll shut up?
Yeah, damn. Tone it down, Holly.
Jesus.
Doing is just running at Millie.
God.
Jesus, worse than Holly.
The only real disagreement I have with that division is I think you've got Detroit and Chicago flipped.
Yeah.
I think Detroit's going to go 7-10, and Chicago's going to be in the basement.
Do you think Chicago's going to do worse this year?
They,
See, that's what I
have no,
said, too.
they have no offensive line, and outside of Mooney, they got really nobody.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I figure they're going to try to probably run with Fields a lot, and it's going to help them out because
They don't have an offensive line.
Yeah, that's the thing. That line is not good.
Fields is,
Yeah.
The rankings came out for the offensive line team rankings, and the Bears were ranked like 30 or 31 out of 32 teams.
let's see, one.
The thing
You
with the
can't have
Lions,
that.
I think even Zolt selling the Lions short. I think
Yeah.
7 and
I mean,
10.
really look at this right here. They have Houston, the Giants, the Jets, Detroit going back and forth. Atlanta. I mean, it really is kind of almost a light schedule for them. Philly,
Bears?
depending on whoever decides to show up. This is the Bears. So, I
Here's
mean,
the thing.
The Bears have the 49ers, the Packers, right off the
Houston.
gate.
Yep.
Then Houston and the Giants. And it's in New York. At Minnesota. Then they get Washington.
Thursday night.
And New
Hold on.
England, Dallas, and Miami.
Hold on. George, start over again.
Yep. 49ers and Packers.
Loss.
Texans at home.
We'll call that a win.
Win.
At New York Giants.
Loss.
At Minnesota.
Loss.
See, I wouldn't.
Commanders at home Thursday night football.
Loss.
A
Because
week
it's
later
gonna be a
at New
short
England.
schedule.
At New England a week later.
Loss.
Monday Night Football.
Loss.
So you're at 2-6 right now.
At Dallas,
Loss.
Loss.
2-7.
Yep.
the Dolphins.
Loss.
I'll call that a win. I
actually almost wrote down win, but I said loss.
I call that a
was
win.
gonna say, I'd actually call that a loss with Tua with his tools. I don't think.
Yep.
I don't think
That's
Tua
what
is
I wrote it to.
But Tua is inconsistent. Miami is inconsistent. So I'm going to call that a win. So right now we're at 3-7.
I was gonna say they got a stronger running game now though too. So
That's true.
Then you got Detroit.
Week 10 against Detroit.
Loss.
At home.
Loss.
In Chicago.
Okay. At Atlanta.
Win.
Ooh. Yeah.
So you're 4-8.
At the New York Jets.
Loss.
When is that?
Over here.
November 27th.
Oh,
Yeah,
November
12th. That's Thanksgiving week.
Yeah.
That's gonna be a short week. Loss.
Would you say November 12th?
No. November
No.
27th.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
a
That's
Sunday
Thanksgiving week.
That's
Sunday.
Sunday after Thanksgiving.
Loss.
Oh, that's Sunday.
And it's in New York.
Loss.
Yeah.
So that's 4-9.
Yep. Next week, Packers at home.
Loss. 4-10.
The bye week. The bye week.
They'll
Yeah,
lose to
week
that
14.
too.
The
Man, I'm
bye
sure
week.
hoping-
The bye week has a better O line.
I'm waiting for Rob Triplett to jump on here and go, what? Next week after that, the Eagles.
Loss.
In Chicago.
It's at home.
Don't matter.
It doesn't matter where that one's at.
Eagles defense is gonna get
Yep.
around. Yep.
Next up,
So you're
the Bills come. The Bills
4-11.
4-11.
The
And
Bills
then
come
who
into
is it?
town.
Oh God, they're gonna
Bills.
get destroyed
Buffalo.
there.
That ain't gonna help.
No,
This is Christmas Eve.
Buffalo, Christmas Eve.
So
Christmas
4-12.
Eve.
At Detroit, New Year's Day.
New Year's Day, they're gonna still be suffering from the blow loss.
So you're at 4-13.
And then finish with the Vikings in a flex weekend.
You may win that one just because it's going to be
It's
It's the
at
last
home.
week and they're sitting.
It's at home.
so maybe 5 wins, maybe.
Maybe.
See, Here's your challenge. You ready for this one? You guys said it right out the gate. You said San Francisco. You said loss. I'm going to throw it out there. I don't care about the O-line and whatever. San Francisco's still a little messed up. I bet Chicago actually pulls that fucking game out.
Who was a playoff team last year? Not Chicago.
But they also have basically a rookie quarterback in San Francisco.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
Well, I know that Shanahan's system is still in play, and Shanahan's a plug-and-play guy, so
Mm-hmm.
we'll have to see. Like I said, I don't think it's going to be that much different.
No, and that's why I said. You know, the only games
He's
I said.
got weapons, and he still has a hell of a running game. And the
Yep.
Bears defense, and especially if the Bears definitely don't turn around and give something to Raekwon Smith here real soon, you're going to see somebody just basically phoning it in.
Yeah.
Hey George, pull up the Lions schedule.
I knew
Play
you were
this
going to
little
say
fun
that.
game
I
with
was
the Lions.
literally flipping to that Lions schedule as you were saying that.
I was gonna say I've got it. You need it.
Leave it to the Detroit fan.
Home against. Well, we were getting there.
Yeah. I was
Home
gonna say,
against
I was
Philly.
in there too.
Loss.
Home against Philly, loss. Yeah,
Home against Washington.
loss.
I think that's a win.
I was
Washington's
gonna say,
a trainer.
that's a win. That is a win.
So you're at 1-1.
At Minnesota.
Loss.
Home against Seattle.
Win.
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 At New England. We're just not.
Loss.
We just won't even show up. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Bye week.
We get 2 bye weeks.
Yeah.
Loss.
At Dallas.
You're fine.
Home against Miami.
Win.
Loss.
No, I agree. I agree with Bruiser on this one.
So you're
Oh,
3-4.
Time to shut down the podcast. They agree on something.
Oh,
Right.
no, you're not week 8.
We're not at week 8 yet.
Yeah, that's Miami.
That's against Miami. Yeah,
No.
you are.
Yeah.
Week
Win.
8, Miami.
That is going to be firing on all cylinders now. That's going to be a loss for Detroit.
I was gonna say, I'm saying that's a loss.
Yeah.
I
think Tua
think
runs
you
into
guys
a
are-
Tua
you
runs
you
into
guys
a
are giving
problem with
Miami
that
way too
I
much
think-
credit.
defensive
I
end.
think you win.
I agree, Zolt.
I
I
think
don't
you
think
win.
Miami's
I
not
think you
that
win
good.
in Dallas.
You don't have to be that
win.
good to beat Detroit.
I think
I-
Detroit is way better than you're giving them credit for.
Not this year.
Yes.
I think Dallas actually loses to Detroit in Dallas. Because that
No.
team is that they're literally getting to be a dumpster fire.
Well, okay, so but between most of us, split the difference. We win one of those 2 damn games.
Okay.
Sure.
Yeah.
You're still at 3 and 4.
Right. Home for Green Bay.
Loss.
Yeah.
You know what? Here's the thing, though. Rodgers historically has had issues at least in one game of the season against Detroit.
Yeah,
And
but
it's
their
not
other
in
Detroit game is the
Detroit.
last game.
It's not in Detroit because he keeps putting up Hail Marys in Ford Field and
But he
Mary
still
keeps
has.
answering. Mary
The
keeps
point is
answering.
the point is he has issues with Detroit. So you could split with Green Bay. It's not out of the realm of possibility that Detroit could split with Green Bay.
Well, then it'll be the
know what?
one at the end of the season.
It'll be week
because
18.
Let's
that's
assume
week
this is
18.
assume this is an L. I'm okay assuming this is an L.
They're at 3 and 5.
At Chicago.
Win.
Win.
I think that's a win.
Yeah.
So you're 4 and 5.
At the Giants.
Win.
Win.
Yeah.
You're 5 and 5.
Oh,
You
my
guys
goodness,
literally
Buffalo.
just rode the side of Giants and
Buffalo.
Chicago,
Yeah.
Oh,
and then you're switching
and-
on Detroit.
Then here comes Christmas Eve. Or I'm sorry, that's Thanksgiving.
Well, Thanksgiving,
Yeah, Thanksgiving.
against
It is.
Buffalo.
Buffalo.
Loss.
That's a loss.
I don't know.
Home-
Detroit pulls out some stupid shit on Thanksgiving. I'm
No.
just saying.
No,
No.
They're not going to be doing that. No.
Not that game though. Not that game.
No.
Home
Turkey
for
legs going to
Jacksonville.
Buffalo.
Win.
Was it Jacksonville? Yeah, it's a win.
So you're 6 and 6.
yeah.
Home for Minnesota. Probably not.
Probably not. Yeah.
At the Jets.
It depends on if Dalvin Cook is healthy.
I assume he is. I'm not going to just take him away from them. I'm assuming they'll. At the Jets.
But then you're at the
Oh
Jets.
God, man.
That'll be a win.
At Carolina.
Win.
Loss.
That's a
Could-
loss.
No.
Come on now.
No.
You literally guys are all sitting there talking about Carolina has a chance to beat Cleveland, but then you're going to say they're going to have a dumpster
Oh,
fire against
who
Detroit.
said
Nobody
Yeah.
said that.
Well, wait a minute. Who the
I
hell
did.
said that?
I did, and I have that team in my fucking division, and both those things are true.
No, it's not. I don't think
You full of shit if you think
Dude,
Detroit's beating Carolina.
Go look. Quit
Christmas
drinking
Eve.
the baby bottle. Quit drinking the baby's bottle.
You guys are full of shit if you think you're walking into week 1 and everything's going to be perfect.
You talking about
will
the
be.
Cleveland?
Like I
Listen,
said.
Yes.
if Cleveland squeaks one out against Carolina, I'll be pleased.
Cleveland by 10.
Cleveland by 3.
10.
You're out of your
Man.
fucking mind. No wonder Goldhammer ran you off the air.
Baker Mayfield blows donkey balls and will be eaten alive. Myles Garrett gets to turn around and finally kick his ass.
We don't got to worry about. Hey, we don't have to worry about Jacoby throwing it to our players because Baker's going to do enough of that, and we're going to get enough pick sixes on defense. We're going to be fine.
Yep. It'll easily be by 10.
And I can bet you Miles gets about 3 to 4 sacks that game too.
They've been waiting to crush his ass. Yep. So that's, I think, at Carolina, that's
Here you go, George. This is how confident I am that it'll be by 7 or less. We'll say 7 or less. If Cleveland wins by 7 or more, I will kiss fucking Akers' feet.
We got it on tape.
oh wow.
Do I get to call him Earl? I'll have the toe jam ready.
Don't.
Oh, that ain't right. That is wrong. That is wrong.
Akers, if you win,
And
don't
I will
wash your feet
film
for a
that
week.
shit.
We'll sell feet pics.
Oh, Lord.
OnlyFans.
OnlyFans.
Pornhub, I'm sure there's a fetish for that.
Oh,
is.
yeah. All right. All right.
No,
All right, so we back to football.
Let's finish off this schedule. Jesus
Speaking of
Christ.
feet,
one last thing, since this is my wheelhouse. The line for that game is 3.5.
the line
Just
for the
saying.
Cleveland game.
Yes.
Yeah,
Cleveland loses by 25. Kevin, you put the record. Jesus Christ.
it's.
All right,
I'm
listen.
dead serious.
I have a bet on
George,
the Cleveland Browns game with a buddy of mine who hates Baker Mayfield. He says hates is a strong word and we shouldn't say it, but he hates Baker Mayfield. I said if Baker literally beats Cleveland, you are going to walk around the Brown Stadium with the Carolina Baker jersey on, yelling, "We want Baker back."
No, we don't.
It doesn't matter. It was a punishment. He is 100% sure that the Browns will win that game.
I think they'll win it too, but I don't think they're winning it by 10.
I do.
Well, then ante up, because I just laid out my bet.
I'll think of something. I got a week. I'll think of something.
Oh man.
Let's
Week
finish up
17,
this- let's finish
Chicago
up this-
Bears at home.
Win.
let's
Yeah,
do
that's
it.
a win.
And then you end the season at Green Bay. And no.
It depends if they're
I'm-
benching
I'm-
everybody.
I would say they're
I was
benching
going to say,
players.
if maybe
Benching.
Rodgers isn't playing, that's really your only
So
hope.
you
Well, does
go-
it matter if Rodgers is playing or not? I mean, they got beat by their
No,
second
none of
string
it-
or
Yeah, it
third string
matters.
quarterback. So
It matters.
Here's
matters.
the thing. You got 2 wins against Chicago. That would make you 2-4 in the division. However, if you manage to split with Green Bay, you're 3-3 in the division. That is a marked improvement. Not to mention, you've got a close to 500, if not winning record. With how just absolute shite the rest of the NFC is, you're talking about a Lions team that could
Squeaking the
theoretically
wild
and
card.
possibly squeak out a wild card spot.
Yep.
I wouldn't
Very
go
interesting.
that far, but I mean,
Hey, nobody else said the things about the Bengals that I said last year, and look what fucking happened.
That's correct.
Actually, that's not
That
really
is correct.
true,
That is correct.
hey Chipper,
What's up, sir?
but Detroit's not
Pittsburgh.
making the playoffs.
no,
I never said they were. I said it's a
No, but
possibility.
It's a possibility.
I literally said
Everybody got a
7 and 10.
possibility,
That's what I said, 7 and 10.
I don't think you're giving them enough. I think
Hey,
9 and 8.
I would love to be lowballing them. That'd be great. Except I think
9
we
and
need
8.
one more decent draft pick.
You might need one more decent draft class, and then you really got the ball rolling. But
hoping that you don't lose
it
players.
it starts with squeaking out things that shouldn't happen. You know what I mean? A Thanksgiving Day win against the Bills. Oh, that'd be
No.
huge.
No. I'm well aware
listen,
of
I'm
what
not
Thanksgiving
saying.
is.
I'm not. What I'm saying is that don't automatically discount it, because the Bills have a history of shitting the bed at times where they should just be on cruise control.
As a Detroiter, all I'm going to say is on Thanksgiving, you bring the Tums, and it's not because of the food.
That's right. That's right. All right. Adam, AFC South.
Oh boy. I think I went down way too many notes because you guys are breezing through this shit.
I did an overview. I didn't go too hard into it.
Here's my notes on the Texans. They'll finish dead last. They'll be 3-14, and they'll pick first in the draft this year.
No. Those aren't your notes. That's the number of lawsuits.
Oh, wow. Too soon? Anybody? Anyone?
No, never. But I didn't even bother with the Texans because the Texans are going to be the Texans. They're not going to do shit. I think they're going to be the worst team in the league this year. You know, just because they're the Texans. I mean, who's their coach? Lovie Smith, right?
Yeah.
That's what I thought. Now, on the other hand, let's go down to Jacksonville. I mean, Doug Peterson can't do no worse than Urban Meyer, right?
A Super Bowl winning head coach. I'd say
No.
that's an improvement just hiring Doug Peterson.
Right.
There's your phone and
I think Peterson can be the guy to get Trevor Lawrence where he needs to be. You know, because obviously Urban didn't know how to use him, or obviously
I'm
they
saying
were
that
horrible.
sorry, he needed somebody who could coach pro players.
Right. Right. I mean, and think about it.
I'll be back in a few.
Jacksonville's also the team that decided that they were going to throw millions upon millions of dollars at the wide receivers that started all that big paydays for them with the Christian Kirk deal, which why Christian Kirk of all people I'll never understand because the dude really hadn't done shit in Arizona. When he was like the second or third best receiver in Arizona too.
Third, and then they took Zay Jones, who was like the fifth.
In Oakland or in Vegas. Yeah. I mean, they did. I mean, then you got Everett Ingram they added. They did try to beef up their offensive line, but they picked up Brandon Scherf, the big boy from Iowa. That should try to help Trevor Lawrence a little bit. But I got them going 6-11. I figured that's about middle of the road. It's better than what they were. They doubled their win total from last year because they were 3-14. So I mean, it'll take some time. You can't, Rome wasn't built in a year.
I think Rome wasn't built in a day, but that's fine.
Well, you know what I meant. I'm sorry.
Rome was built in the day. You can't build it at night. You can't see nothing.
It's been a long day. I didn't get off work till 6, so.
I think you're overestimating the Jags by one game. I think 4-13 or 5-12 is probably a little bit more reasonable.
Well, they get to play the Texans twice.
So that's 2 of 4 wins.
Well, I'm saying they're going to get. I think they'll get 6.
So you're looking at your notes right now, right?
Somewhat, yeah.
Don't even look at the team on week 13, win or loss.
I didn't even do the schedule. I'm doing this blind this year.
Oh, man.
I'm doing this blind this year because last year I was way off on everybody by going through it. So I figured, what the hell could it hurt? You know what I mean? But I got them going 6-11. So
yeah, Washington, Texans twice, the Giants. Jets
play the Falcons too, don't they?
It could be about 5 or 6, depending on how the Jets and how bad the Cowboys suck too.
Are you guys really riding Marcus Mariota is just going to like blow this season? Is that what you guys are really saying?
What has he done so far?
We're not there yet.
But every time we go to a division,
we're not there yet.
Will you shut up for a second and listen?
Division, dude. Why are you talking about Marcus Mariota? We're not even in
because
that division.
You both just sat there. Everybody just sat there and said Atlanta. You guys keep saying
No, we
Atlanta.
didn't say Atlanta. We did not say Atlanta. Nobody said Atlanta at all.
Use your
we're in the AFC South.
Jesus.
Dude, we're in the AFC South. Nobody said Atlanta. Nobody.
Yes,
Nobody said
someone
Atlanta.
did.
No,
Adam said that they play Atlanta.
I asked a question.
You did. Thank you.
No, they don't. No,
they don't.
At Atlanta. That was in preseason. That's preseason.
Gotcha.
They don't play them in the regular season.
No one said Atlanta. Yes, someone did. Now, get your Q-tips out.
Bye, Mike.
You beat me to it.
Dave had his finger on trigger on the finger. Damn.
That'll be enough out of you, sir.
Go ahead and finish, Adam.
Don't start the shit if you can't handle it.
I got him at 6-11, so and I'll move on to the next one. Next up, we got Tennessee. How much longer is the Tannehill experiment going to go on in Tennessee? Like, I know the dude was decent last year, but they don't he gets him.
It's going this year. And there's a reason why he's the highest paid quarterback this year, or highest cap hit quarterback this year. Because when he went to them and said, "Hey, I'll restructure my contract to make this easier," and they said no. They want him gone after this year.
I kind of figured that like this would be, and especially you don't go and draft Malik Willis for him to sit. You know what I mean? I mean, when you think about it too, the reason I kind of thought this might be his last year is you go out and you get, Treylon Burks at wide receiver. You go out and you get Malik Willis. You go out and get Hassan Haskins, which I think he just scored again against Ohio State. And then you get, you got your Austin Hooper, you got your blocking tight end. So they're making the moves to try to. You can see that they're with the rookie class. You can see like the era is over and they're ready to start anew without Tannehill. Because granted, they had the best record last year at one point, but they didn't do. They lost in the first round of the playoffs or some shit like that.
Who did they play in the playoffs?
Was it? They get beat by Cincinnati, wasn't it? I don't even remember.
Probably Cincy.
It was.
I'm waiting to see if I know Zol's looking it up.
I'm actually looking up something else, so feel free.
Okay, then carry on then. But no, like I just Derrick Henry's still going to be Derrick Henry. Like as long as he stays healthy, he's still a top 3 back in the league. I don't care what anybody says. They don't. I'm waiting to see how many dudes he's going to stiff arm this year and put him on a poster because it's bound to happen. But this is where I think I'm going to get a lot of shit. Is I got Tennessee going 10-7 and missing the playoffs.
I mean, I could see it. If Tannehill is anywhere close to serviceable, if he doesn't shit the bed like last year, I could definitely see it.
So what did Tennessee lose in players on offense?
Well, what they dropped off
Jones.
Brown.
They traded Brown.
They traded him off, and no Julio either. So
Wasn't really much of Julio, anyways.
I was gonna say they didn't really have Julio last year.
No, yeah, but I know I had him on fantasy.
Yeah, that kind of hurt. I had him too. Kind of sucked.
And the thing is too is don't. I mean, yeah, they got Robert Woods, but how bad is he going to be considering he's coming off that ACL injury too? I mean, he's a hell of a receiver. At least he was with the Rams. But
For the Rams.
you go from Stafford to Tannehill.
But he also had somebody else on his left-hand side that would give him a chance to catch the ball.
True. And I don't know. I mean, they still got AJ Brown. No, AJ went to Philly. Who was the other one they had? Fuck, who was the other receiver?
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't even recognize anybody off of the depth chart. Westbrook. There's a Nick Westbrook.
Ikine. Yes.
Ikine. Treylon Burks. Cody Hollister. Kyle Phillips.
Treylon Burks. We'll see what he can do. He's a rookie, so obviously you don't expect much right out the gate. They, however, have 2 pass-catching tight ends in Hooper and Swaim.
They don't have that Ferkster because he retired, didn't he?
No, he went elsewhere. He was a free agent.
Okay.
And who's the tight end?
Hooper and Swaim.
No, I'm all right. I'm riding with you on that one.
Yeah, I mean that's like I said. The thing that's nice about Treylon Burks is they may have traded away AJ Brown, but Treylon Burks is basically like an AJ Brown / DK Metcalf kind of mold for a receiver because he's a big-bodied receiver. So I don't really know if they lose anything, but granted he's a rookie, so therefore we just got to wait and see how he's going to do. I wouldn't expect too much out of it. I don't think you're going to have a Jamar Chase kind of year out of Treylon Burks with fucking Tannehill as his quarterback. Sorry, I just don't see it happening.
Right.
But yeah, so I got him going 10-7, missing out on the playoffs. And then last but not least, I have the division winners, Indianapolis Colts. I think with the addition of, not only did they get Matt Ryan, their backup also has a Super Bowl in Nick Foles. They picked up Philip Lindsay, which he didn't do shit really in Denver. But the Stephon Gilmore addition, I think, is going to be really big for them because their defense was already pretty much a top 5, top 10 defense.
Yeah.
And then you add Stephon Gilmore to that, look the fuck out. So I got them going 11-6 and making the playoffs, which is going to be. And I know the AFC is so hard to try
It's
to.
going to be brutal this year.
I'm telling you, I have a feeling there's going to be a team that's like 11-6 that's not going to make the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be like 2012 all over again when the Patriots went 11-5 and missed.
That's just what it feels like.
Because they
Because
didn't
the
win their
AFC is so
division.
strong, and I mean, look at the West Division alone.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I think with the addition of Matt Ryan, with the weapons that he has, and Pittman, Paris Campbell, as much as I hate to say that because he wants to where.
Where's that?
Yeah, this place in Columbus, I guess. But I think the one that's going to surprise people, though, and I think he's very underrated, is Alex Pierce, the kid from Cincinnati. I think this kid's going to be a stud with Matt Ryan. He could be like the next Adam Thielen, in my opinion. But he's a little faster, obviously. Obviously, you got Jonathan Taylor. The dude set the world on fire last year with 1,800 yards rushing and 18 touchdowns. I don't see him really.
Yeah, he's not going to come that.
I don't think he's not going to go. I don't think he's going to take too much of a step back, though. As long as he stays healthy, I think he'll lead the league in rushing again.
1,600, maybe 1,550, somewhere
Give or
around
take,
there.
yeah, I could see that. But I think Matt Ryan. I'm going to pull a Durkin moment here. He could be a top 10 quarterback this year. I think Matt Ryan could be a top 10 quarterback.
Ooh.
Well,
Okay.
It's not a bad thing.
I mean, considering the weapons he has, and then don't forget we got, just because I love to say his name, Mo Alley Cox, the tight end. You know what I mean?
You just like saying the word Cox.
I wouldn't go that far now.
In his alley.
But
Cox and Alley, I don't know about that, man.
Don't sleep on Nyheim Hines either. You've got a hell of a pass catching running back.
Yeah.
Right behind Taylor.
Yeah.
My thing is where are they going to fit in Philip Lindsay in all this?
As a third.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just giving somebody a break.
Yeah.
Is he more of a pass catching, or is he?
I don't think
what I mean?
so. Mo Cox, yeah.
That coming from a Steelers fan.
Oh boy.
Ooh.
Oh, all right, Dave.
Yo,
Let's move on to that NFC South.
I think we should leave them last.
excellent. Love it.
Go gentle with my Panthers.
Let's start with the garbage, shall we? Atlanta Falcons.
I was waiting
gonna
for
say,
South
which
Carolina
one?
Oh. Last year they went 7-10. They managed to piss off Matt Ryan, who requested a trade, and they got him out of Dodge. Lost Russell Gage to free agency, Hayden Hurst agency. You lost Dante Fowler. Yeah, they took some hits. It wasn't all negative. I mean, you added Marcus Mariota. Yay. You did draft Desmond Ridder. I don't think that's paying off for you right away. You added running back Damian Williams to the mix. Cornerback Casey Hayward. You did draft Drake London.
You also drafted London.
Yep, you drafted London. You signed Brian Edwards. You're moving some pieces around. Make no mistake, you're still hot garbage. I got them finishing 4-13.
Wow.
They will be towards the bottom. They're going to have a probably top 3 pick. I mean, it is what it is. This was coming. The past couple of years now, we've been looking at their salary cap situation between Julio and Ryan and everything else. The bottom was going to fall out. And here we are.
My thing is how bad does a hit does Kyle Pitts take this year?
I mean, that's a great. I mean, he could actually put up numbers, but it's going to be one of those things. It's like, who else are they covering?
Well, if you stick both Drake and him on the same side, that's where you're going to get your option at.
Because I doing all these, like looking at the drafts and stuff, it's like you see Pitts sitting there. It's like it's a sexy name, but it's one of those things like, huh, oh wait, Mariota's throwing in the ball. Yeah, you know what I mean?
Wow, you were kind, Dave.
Am I?
Just flipping through the schedule real quick.
Oh, hang on,
Only
hang on.
two-
First off, 1,
No.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have them starting 0-7.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's rough.
Oh,
It
yeah.
is brutal.
It is ugly.
What divisions are they playing this year?
They
AFC,
have NFC West,
Yep, NFC West.
AFC North.
Yep. So the first 7 games, home for New Orleans,
holy
at
shit, he's
the
got
Ram,
he's
at the
got the Browns
Rams,
beating them.
at Seattle, home for Cleveland, at Tampa Bay, home for San Francisco, at Cincinnati. Their first win is Week 8 against Carolina.
You hush your whore mouth.
They split. I mean, what do you want from me?
God damn you!
Well,
And then
that's
even after
the
after
home
that,
against Carolina.
Yeah.
That's the home against Carolina. I don't know.
Um,
I'd say they were 0-9, and then they get the win.
I think they can only split if that running back stays behind Baker.
Just don't pick him in any fucking fantasy, and we'll be all right.
Oh, don't worry. Saturday's coming.
yeah,
Saturday's coming pretty quick.
I'm snagged on something over here.
George, I fully expect to see pictures of the board when you're done, because I
Done.
want to be able to laugh.
Better get them white ones out.
As much as people laughed at the first aces, yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah, it'll be
Well,
interesting,
it can't be as bad as Aces. I mean, look at Kevin's team alone.
dude.
Wow.
Oh,
That's just
Doug,
rude.
Doug,
He's in the
just
thing.
Wait.
I don't care.
Doug,
He's
just
my
wait.
he's my opponent. I don't care.
No,
I'm not.
Doug, trust me.
Yeah.
Just trust me.
Yep.
I always look forward to when Ohio has their draft, and I'm not even in it.
He's not lying. Oh,
Doug, I just
okay,
wanted to
so-
know when Kevin picked, like, were you eating candy and you had a heart attack because there were players that were still on your roster? You had a chance to take players, or
Yeah. Well, there's a couple that I did not expect to be there, but that ended up being so. Like, hey, whatever.
All right, Dave, go ahead.
All right, let's move on. Atlanta takes a step back. A team that takes a little step forward this year. We got Carolina. Last year they were 5-12, finishing 7th. It's baby steps, you know. There is no gigantic leap in the NFL. So you lost Cam Newton.
Did
Again,
you really?
You did, however, you lost Hassan Reddick and Jermaine Carter.
Yeah.
You gained via trade Baker Mayfield. You drafted Matt Corral, who's now hurt.
Out for the year.
You drafted a tackle and a Kwanu that he should provide dividends almost immediately. You signed running back Dante Foreman. You signed Rashard Higgins, linebacker Corey Littleton. Pieces are moving around. I'm not saying by any stretch they are there, but like I said, I got them finishing 7-10. They're going to muddle their way through.
Sounds about Baker-esque.
Moving on to brighter things. New Orleans Saints.
Oh, quick question.
Yes.
Does Matt Rule get let go after this year?
No.
No? Okay.
Nope. They want to see steps. 7-10 is steps. Very much on the hot seat next year.
why not sign an $18 million quarterback and then go trade for one?
Sure. It's the NFL. We got the money. New Orleans finished last year 9-8. I got them moving on up to 10-7. Woohoo! So you lost your top safety in Malcolm Jenkins, who retired. You also lost Marcus Williams, another safety, and then also offensive tackle Terran Armstead. None of that is good.
But didn't they get safety Tyrann Mathieu?
They signed Tyrann Mathieu.
Yeah.
You just filled that spot. You drafted Trevor Penning, who, if he can stop fighting his own teammates, might be a damn good tackle. You drafted Chris Olave. You signed Jarvis Landry. You also signed another safety, Mark, and the savior of the team, Andy Dalton. Just kidding.
He said that because Clay ain't even here.
What? I was gonna say.
What?
Clint's not on yet.
Because he's been in and out. I'm waiting.
Right. Slide back to Carolina real quick.
Yes, sir.
Because Burridge did come up and speak of the devil right on, like it was meant to be.
How dare you say that?
But
How
Burridge,
dare you say them words? Andy Dalton will never be the savior, okay?
Burridge does have Matt Rule as coach number 2 on the hot seat. He says he is starting his third retrade quarterback in 3 years, another 5-12 season with CMC and more. Rule can look at going back to college, another head coach from the college ranks that couldn't cut it in the NFL.
I'm thinking the team knows they don't have the pieces. They've gained some pieces. They just want to see progress, and that's going to determine it. If it's another 5-12, gone.
Right.
If he actually gets those extra 2 games, they could keep him. Again, he'll still be on the hot seat, but
Well, especially I'm thinking a lot of teams are going to be trying to throw their ring into that Sean Payton sweepstakes.
I mean, why not?
All right, now to the big dog.
Big dog. All right, coming off a 13-4 year, you lost your tight end, your Hall of Fame tight end, who decided to retire on you again.
And stay
This
away.
time he ain't coming back.
He ain't coming back.
He ain't coming back. You lost safety Jordan Whitehead. You lost running back Ronald Jones. You added, however, wide receiver Russell Gage, who could have much more of this offense than they probably anticipated. Safety Logan Ryan, Keanu Neal, drafted running back Rashad White, tight end Cade Otton. Brait, I think, is still going to be the top tight end, but they got somebody else to go along with him. Their big is injuries on their O-line right now. And that's not exactly an off-season move. That is, they've lost 2 centers now?
Yeah.
2 centers and I believe a guard. I have them going 12-5. That O-line could kill them.
Yeah.
I mean,
Sometimes they haven't called.
I would say if they lose another piece off that O-line, I don't know what the hell they're going to do.
And it's funny you mention that because that's what NFL radio was actually even talking about this morning was the Bucs O-line and how bad that is starting to look. And it's like, how much of an impact is that on Tom Brady? Could be a huge impact.
I'm just surprised they haven't called out to Treader yet, or any team for that matter.
I don't know. I mean, good news is Brady came back from his sabbatical today. He showed up.
Antonio Brown wasn't happy about that.
There's rumors. Who knows? Somebody said they think he's going to show up on The Masked Singer. That's where he was taping that.
He was already on there.
Was he?
Antonio Brown. Yeah.
First one eliminated.
Yeah. The funny thing is I guessed him too right out the get-go too. Kelly's like, how the hell do you know that? I'm like, he was doing getting it right there on stage. I'm like, duh.
He's a rapper now.
Oh,
Antonio Brown.
Jeez.
He's a rapper, all right.
With that being said, let's slide on.
Yeah.
The heck with that.
That's mine. I got. Oh my god, that's a paragraph and a half. Never mind. Mr. Benson just kicking a message in to all the parents about Wednesday. I can go back and read that in a minute. So, what do you figure what do the standings look like for the Bucks overall?
12-5. They actually drop a couple early. They drop to Dallas in week 1, and they actually lose to the Saints in week 2. Aren't gelling yet. You've still got Godwin recovering from his ACL. I mean, I don't know if Mike Evans has found his hamstring yet. And then, you also lose to the Chiefs in week 4. So you're literally starting 1-3.
You got that as a loss?
Yep.
When they're missing all those players, Doug.
Missing all those pieces, you're in Kansas City.
Missing all those players all the way into week 5 and 6, Doug. Yeah.
But they got Julio Jones.
Anyway, I was going to say, hang on, we're talking week 4. They don't have Julio anymore. The warranty's expired.
I think we need to have we need to set the over under on how many games that Julio will actually play.
Right.
3.
Go ahead,
full
Mike. You can
games,
draft him.
Full games. We're talking 3 full games, not 3 total quarter to make 3 games, but 3 full games without coming off for injury. 3 games.
So are we saying that OBJ will come back and have more yards than fucking Julio Jones?
Who? I'm sorry, that guy's still not on a team. He's still looking for a team. All right, Doug, AFC West.
Oh, man. I didn't even know where to begin with this fucking division.
So in last place.
Sucks to have 4 good teams now, don't it?
I say 3 good teams. 3 good teams. And 1 barely good.
Wow,
Let's start with the barely good.
City, huh? The Raiders are
Denver. I'm not trusting Russell Wilson in Denver on his first year only because he hasn't really played in cold weather week after week after week after week.
What? Hello, he played in Seattle.
Seattle when it's 40 degrees on a bad day compared to Denver where he's going to be playing in negative 30 with
Seattle's
40 inches of snow.
Oh my God.
2 different extremes. I do not trust the weeks between 13 to 18. I see Denver only going 8 and 9.
Is, right?
Huh?
You know where the geography is, right?
Yeah, but
Seattle's
Denver gets a hell of a lot more snow and is a hell of a lot colder than Seattle.
Seattle gets a lot colder than Denver does. What are you talking about?
Bullshit. When was the last time Seattle was negative 30? Or negative 40
January?
for that matter.
January?
No.
We're not playing in January at that time.
Yeah.
Well, they won't be.
I don't see. I mean, the beginning of the year he'll be fine, but towards the end, as it gets colder, I'm not seeing him adjust well in his first year. Yeah, hey.
All right.
I don't see it. I don't see it. I see them going 8 and 9 and finishing last.
Hold on. The average temperature by month in Seattle, August, average of 72 for a high, 57 for a low. September, 67 for a high, 55 for a low. October, 59 for a high, 50 for a low. November, 51 and 43. December, 46 and 39.
46 and 39. You don't need to go any further than that because it's like minus 20, minus 30 in Denver.
Hold on. Let's do Denver. August, 90 and 59. September, 82 and 50. October, 68 and 37. November, 57 and 27. December, 47 and 19. 2 cities aren't that different.
10 degrees different, and Colorado is a hell of a lot different than for 30
Yeah.
degrees in Seattle.
Yeah, and plus
I'm going by
You're talking about the wind. You're talking about wind and everything else too.
you're a mile high in the mountains.
Yeah.
You gotta count the altitude too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Sure
a mile
you do.
high. You might be
The
fine on the
altitude is
lower
some
level.
bitch.
You might be fine on the lower levels, but in Denver, you're not. Denver is a totally different ball game, literally.
I just went off of average temperature, and they're not that different.
Does Denver and Seattle play each other?
Denver,
Week
it's
one.
yes, week one.
Week 1 right off the bat in
Okay.
Seattle.
Yeah,
In
And I
Seattle?
actually-
In Seattle.
that I have the
But I think
Broncos
it's
winning,
a national game too.
but
And-
13 through 18, I only see one win, and that's at home against Kansas City.
And you guys say the NFL isn't set
Baltimore,
up.
at home against Arizona, at Rams, not only because it's at Rams, at Kansas City because the weather, home against the Chargers because the weather again. I'm putting a lot of it on the weather this first year. Until I see him actually play really good in cold weather, I don't trust him. Sorry, it's just the way I am. And next up on the list. Chargers.
Yeah, the Broncos at Seahawks, by the way, is your first opener for Monday night.
You ever think about that though for this year? How many of these it's ironic how this shit works out. Like Russell's
It's
first
not
game
ironic.
against his old,
This
against
was
his old team.
planned.
Well, just like the whole Deshaun thing. Like, oh, his first game available, he comes back against Houston. Baker's first game is against the Browns. Like,
Yeah, I know Jamie lived in Seattle.
Yeah.
Yep.
And Diana lived in near Denver, okay? And I've also been through Denver several times on the train. It's no fun in the wintertime. Not at all. Next on the list, Chargers. I actually have them going 11-6, but finishing third and missing the playoffs.
yeah, you had a tough division.
That
Yeah.
is a hell of a division.
Yes,
Well, everybody in
welcome to
the
my nightmare last year.
in the division, I have going 3-3 in the division. Everybody, including Denver.
Wow.
I mean, I tried many different scenarios.
Well, the
I
only
just
thing
don't
with
see
Denver
anything.
is how's their defense? They don't have Von Miller
Chargers?
obviously
For
for the
Chargers,
Broncos. No, the Broncos. Like how? Like we don't know much about their defense really.
It's
okay. It's
Swiss
okay.
cheese, but
Yeah, it's okay.
It'll hold up in
Yeah.
a few home games.
But they also need an offense, and you also got to look at, isn't Jerry Jeudy up for a 6-game suspension soon? How much is that going to affect their play?
It's not confirmed yet.
That's the first I've heard of it.
Yeah, it's not confirmed yet. But yes, he's on the risk of the suspension too.
Yeah, that
We'll
could
wait and
affect.
see. We have to wait and
wins.
see that one.
Yeah. Chargers 11-6, missing the playoffs. Next up, the Chiefs also at 11-6.
Of course,
But
the
they
homer's
get
going
ahead
with the
of
fucking
the
team.
Chargers.
I knew it was coming.
Oh, I knew it was. Yeah.
No, I was waiting. I knew Adam was getting ready to say something.
The Chiefs finish ahead of the Chargers because of the common game schedule. The Chiefs are going to be 9-3, while Chargers are 8-4.
What's the one team division?
Was that?
What's the one team division? The division they play, but they only get the one team in each division, or the division they play, but they only get the one team. Who's got the strong?
Well, let's see, Arizona for the Chiefs. Oh, that's a common. Indy, Tampa Bay, maybe.
So in that they don't play New Orleans, they don't play Carolina.
No.
So they have Tampa Bay. So that's a
Tampa
strength.
Bay.
That's a strength for Sky right there.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, there's literally what? Common 12 common games between the Chiefs and the Chargers.
Yeah, because the division that would be whoever got Tampa Bay and whoever gets New Orleans.
Actually,
bigger split.
Chiefs got Chiefs got Tampa Bay while the Chargers got Arizona. No, they did not. Jacksonville. No, that's not common. Well, that is common. San Fran's common. Maybe Miami for Chargers. Maybe. That's. Yeah, I'm not seeing Miami really hitting anybody else in the West. And lastly, the Raiders. I'm putting them at 12-5. Everybody is within one game, and for everybody, I have 3 games that could be swing games.
Yeah.
Tennessee and Indianapolis for Raiders, Chiefs, and Chargers. With New England against the Raiders. Cincinnati against the Chiefs, and Arizona against the Chargers, I think could all determine who fits where.
I'm right with you on that one, Doug. I mean, but my question is always going to be is what's Josh going to do? Josh has always been put on a good team and doesn't really ride out on top when he's the head coach.
Here's the problem that I see with Raiders, though, is the offensive line right side is absolute garbage. They got Alex Leatherwood at $3.2 million, but he's a liability. They were thinking about getting rid of him, but you can't get rid of him because it's going to be a $3.9 million cap hit. They have to do something with him. Just this one pass game alone, he was bull rushed 3 times. He allowed 4 hits, allowed a sack. He was just getting dominated all up and down the place. And last year, not only was a liability on his plate, but he got so many penalties. There was a game last year where Alex Leatherwood literally got flagged 3 plays in a row.
I remember that game because he was going out crazy in the chat.
Funny thing is, Doug, I was figuring a 3-way tie between the Raiders, Chiefs, and Chargers.
You're looking at a 1 game, so it's a virtual tie.
I was thinking everybody went 11-7, and it was going to be the biggest cluster bomb ever.
Yeah, it is literally going to be.
It is. I mean, I had the tough task last year, and I'm glad that somebody else had it this year.
Yeah. The only win that I have listed for the Raiders that may be a loss that could really fuck things up and make everybody at 11-6 is maybe the New England game. I had the Raiders beating New England in Las Vegas.
Yeah, that was the one I was looking at too. That's the one I was looking at too. Yep. Yeah, that division is just going to be no joke.
It's going to be brutal. And for all
I was going to say at 11-7, I kind of figured they'd all
11-6. 11-6.
I'm sorry, 11. Yeah. I thought all 3 would make the playoffs.
It's possible. But while I was looking up everything, I'm hearing, all the Derek Carr haters out there. He's never going to win the Super Bowl. The man passed
about Matthew Stafford.
Yeah. Well, he passed for over 4,000 yards last year. His only downfall is his touchdown ratio. Last year, it sat at 3.7%, which is not great. However, in doing my research, I came across another quarterback with very similar stats. See if you can identify him. 3,400 yards, only 20 touchdowns with 4.4%, allowed 42 sacks with a 95 quarterback rating, which is going to be about what Derek Carr is going to do this year.
Are you talking about an active quarterback that's playing right now, or a quarterback on the same
now.
team? Oh.
He's not on the same team he was when he did this stats, but he's active now.
Kirk Cousins.
No.
Tannehill.
Nope. 2013 Russell Wilson. Yeah, he only threw for 20 touchdowns with a 95 quarterback rating. Derek Carr is going to get you 30 touchdowns, more yardage.
Now you're making me wonder what Gannon had when he threw
his
4,000
rookie year?
yards.
Yeah.
No, that was his rookie year?
No, it wasn't. Not 2013. And the year after, in 2014, when they went back to the Super Bowl, his team allowed 44 sacks on him, and he only threw for 26 touchdowns. You don't need that 35 to 40 touchdown throwing quarterback. Seattle proved it twice.
Well, Seattle also at that time also had a running back behind him too, didn't he?
Well, you got a running back here now in Josh Jacobs. And he's a passing running back, unlike Marshawn Lynch, who couldn't catch shit. You know, what Jacobs won't get you in rushing, he'll get you in the passing. He'll equal Marshawn Lynch.
All right. We're really crunching on some time here. I have the NFC West.
Shocker.
Duh.
Ha! Got him.
The basement squad this year, of course, and I think I was being a little generous, is the Seahawks at 6-11.
Oh my God, that is generous.
It's a little generous.
Did Bryce pick that record?
No. I don't. If we left it for him, I think he'd even sit there and go lost. But the one that I could even coin flip it to make it a 5-12 would be the Saints game. Being the overseas game, that's the one that I'm kind of like, well, you don't know what the hell's going to happen overseas. It's always a crapshoot. So with that being said, yeah, I've got them there. Next up, I've got the Cards and Niners both at 7-10, and they could literally, I don't know the strength of schedule set up, since they're both about the same. I don't think it's really going to matter at 7-10 which one goes in second and which one goes in third at this point. It's just like, yep, you beat the teams that you should beat. I think they'll split with LA, just kind of like they were playing with last year. But pretty much against all the strong teams you win and the weak teams you lose, and the same thing with the Cards. I mean, they're like I said, they're similar opponents. So you've got a lot of the weak teams involved with this division, with the Bears. Like I said, Seattle, it's just horrific. Washington, the Falcons. I mean, these guys literally, the Panthers are in here too. It's like, yep, there's wins all over the place, but then losses all over the place too. The Rams, the Bucks, splitting back and forth between each other. So yeah, it's an ugliness in the division in the opposite spectrum of, God, the division is just kind of mediocre, but will beat the crap out of each other. But that, of course, leaves the Rams. We all know that there's always that Super Bowl hangover, but
not in the NFC. I don't. Yeah.
In the beginning, I don't think that there will be much of one.
No.
Yes, I got them pretty much at 12-7, and taking the division.
Wait a minute, 12.
I mean 12-5
or 12-5. I'm sorry. Excuse me.
George
You're giving them the
hard,
Super
ain't
Bowl
he?
winner, right?
It's them overseas games, man. Overseas too.
Right. Yeah, like I said, it's a runaway because they also get to play the Falcons, the Cowboys, the Panthers, the Saints, the Seahawks. Excuse me. They even get the Broncos late in the year too at home, so The weird thing is that should really prove to be interesting, and I actually have them losing this game. Is the game in LA against the Chargers? Both teams get to play at home technically. They're both at home, so I actually have them losing to the Chargers on that game.
I mean, I think we both know the Rams are the home team,
Yeah.
but regardless,
actually, it says at Chargers. So the
no,
Chargers.
I understand. I'm just
Yeah.
referring to fan base.
Yeah. Well, then just don't tell the 49er fans to not show
Right.
up.
Kevin, I get it. It is just so hard to repeat in the NFL
Yeah.
because it's always somebody else's turn.
Well, I think the Super Bowl winner for the next 3 to 4 years is going to come out of the AFC.
Bills.
I was going to say, I think Buffalo might be it this year.
I was going to say Buffalo's.
Yeah, you got Buffalo, possible Raiders, possible Kansas City's always in it. Miami's gotten stronger. It's going to be total top-heavy AFC next 3 to 4. Cincinnati. Shit.
I know we're tight on time. I don't want to take up anybody else that's got to go, but I do have a philosophical about Seattle. Where do they go from here? I mean, what is
Seattle?
Ryan
even put it on there. Pete Carroll is on the hot seat, and I 100% agree.
I mean, how can he not be? There's nobody there.
Yeah, well, but it's been the same old, and right now he's even lost his offensive coordinator twice in the past 5 years.
Oh,
his defensive coordinators have moved on in the past 5 years, so yeah, it's pretty much just Pete and his system. And when the quarterback's now gone, and you were having issues there, right now
try last to kick me out.
Literally around DK Metcalf and a couple of running backs. That's exactly what's going to happen.
Yeah.
So
and Kevin is correct.
Seattle's on the downspurt.
Yeah. And Kevin is correct. Buffalo is at plus 600 to win. They are the top dog right now. They are the Vegas favorite.
Now watch neither Buffalo nor Cincinnati will get anywhere
Right.
near. It'll be some dumb wild card team.
All right, Clint.
All right.
NFC East.
All right, well, I'm going to bump off a little early.
That's
All
what
right,
See you guys.
That's what she said.
Let's get the bottom feeder out the way. That's gonna be the Giants. I mean,
Yeah.
I got them going 4-13. I don't really. They could go 5-12, but it all depends on Saquon Barkley. He's the X factor.
This the end of the Daniel Jones era?
I think so.
Yeah.
They will be in the C.J. Stroud, Bryce Young sweepstakes.
Right on.
The Commanders, they got an easy schedule. My problem is I just can't trust Carson Wentz to win me a lot of football games. I got them going 7-10. Thing with them is Antonio Gibson been with the third stringers. That's not good. He might lose that spot to Brian Robinson.
Hearing a lot of good things about that kid.
Number 2, I got the Cowboys. I got them going 11-6.
Wow.
Couple questions. One, I love CeeDee Lamb. Now, can CeeDee Lamb take that next step? Because he's the de facto number 1. He gets the top guy, not Cooper, which I think he will still kill it. Tony Pollard, I think Mike McCarthy throw the ball too damn much, but I can see Zeke and Pollard both getting 1,000 yards this year, though. That man has 719 yards and what? Only really played, like, second half of the season, like, heavenly. And I do think one of these guys get fired during the season. Either Mike McCarthy or Kellen Moore. One of them. And winning the division, I have Philly. I had them going 12-5.
Jalen
I mean-
Hurts?
That's gotta hurt.
Wow.
That's a nice lob for the assist.
How was what?
This is actually it didn't because
How hard
it's a new- it's a-
hard was this for you to do?
it actually was. It's a new season, so I'm
And
gonna
he's going to
count
draft
every
him in
time
the
I play
draft.
Jalen
I was
Hurts.
gonna say somebody's
if I count him-
drafting somebody. Yeah.
And if I count him, and he slowly gonna pay me back the money he owed me for that one thing that he lost me a lot of money on. But I mean, you got AJ Brown and you still got Smith last year. Both them guys can hit 1,000 yards. Miles Sanders should come back healthy. I mean, so it's all on Jalen Hurts. If Jalen Hurts
He
take that
come back
next step-
healthy. It's can he come back and play?
Them running back last year for the Eagles had 16 touchdowns on the ground. They was doing it by committee. Miles Sanders better than all them guys. But I do got one thing I put about the Eagles, though. I mean, one, Jalen Hurts, but I'm going out here on a limb now. I think N'Kobe Dean wins Defensive Rookie of the Year. They're sleeping on my guy from Georgia.
I have heard he has been absolutely insane during the preseason.
And they
But
got
one
him so
question,
late,
though.
too. It's a fucking steal.
I said both of them can have 1,000 yards. Do anybody know when's the last time the Eagles had 1,000-yard receiver?
Terrell Owens.
Nope. It's a year. Guess the year. I can tell you the wide receivers, too.
What was the year? Just tell me the year. See if I can guess the receiver.
Oh, you'll probably guess it. It's 2014.
Oh, Deshaun Jackson.
And Jeremy Maclin.
I forgot about Macklin.
I remember that year DJ had like 50 catches but had like 1,000 yards. Like, God, he was like a deep ball threat.
Is that the same year he fucking did that? He
I
literally
think so. The
fucking
miracle at
that
the middle.
Oh, excuse me, coming through.
Y'all shouldn't have punted to me. He just took off. But yeah, I mean, it ain't paying me as much to put there. I mean, I had to be fair. I can't be biased. But I don't like Jalen Hurts. I mean, gotta be
Who do you
honest.
think's gonna have the better year though?
And plus, I know the Cowboys. It's gonna be one of them. It's a game on that schedule that they're gonna win. That they're gonna lose.
Right.
They do it every year.
Who could have the better year out of Smith and Brown? Because you can't guard both.
I mean, AJ Brown been killing it in camp. I'm gonna say Smith just because the rapport is there. I think he'll use AJ Brown more like a red zone guy. Throw the jump ball up there, Don't take it out the air.
So you could say it'd be more better along the line to say that Smith will get more yards, but Brown will get more touchdowns.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
They both get 1,000 yards though. If Jalen Hurts be on this shit this year.
How long before Clint says he's dead to him again?
I got it written down. I lost $500 on that Jalen Hurts game. Every time I start him, I'm counting how much I win with him starting. He give me at least half, it'd be okay. Because I'll probably be starting him at least 2-3 times a year this year.
I mean, just remember though, if something happens that hurts, Gardner Minshew's just stepping right in.
Mississippi mustache.
He didn't look too bad last night.
Against the threes.
I like Minshew.
That's like all them Browns fans saying fucking
Could be
Josh
against home
Dobbs
field
is smart.
territory.
Leave Minshew alone. The Minshew. Oh yeah.
Sean's killing me here. Killing me.
Are you sure?
All right. Well, on that note, anyways, I gotta run. I gotta go get my kid.
Yeah, I'm about to
See
head
you
on
guys.
out too. I'm hungry. I had to come right to work and hop straight on.
Yeah, well, Sean had the AFC East, and it's like, only one of the most important divisions to turn around and tackle.
Let's go through it.
I don't know. New York Jets were 4-13 last year. I'm calling it.
Are we calling
5 and
it
12.
proven?
5-12.
5-12. Do we see Wilson coming back off this injury doing something good, or
That Wilson was never good.
I mean, I was gonna say, do I see him coming off the injury? Yes. Good? No.
Flacco going to be our starting quarterback halfway through the season?
I don't know.
Oh
we
no,
want to
no,
ride
no.
that.
Do they still got number 1 overall pick Mike White or Matt White?
God.
No.
What did the guy that said they like? I thought that should have been a number 1 overall pick, and he had the one good game. Like, no.
Well,
Who
I was
was
going to
it?
say Ravens, Browns, Bengals, Steelers.
Right out the
Oh,
gate?
that's 0-5.
Yeah, that's their regular season first 4 games is the whole AFC North.
Yeah, that's 0-4.
Somebody just bend over and give them the 5-gallon bucket of Vaseline because the NFL just screwed them.
They got them 2. They got that 4. Then they got the Giants in Minnesota, or
You got
Green
Miami
Bay in Minnesota.
and Green Bay in weeks 5 and 6. You go to Denver in week 7.
Hell.
You get New England in 8, Buffalo in 9, and you get your bye week.
Are they at home for the New England game?
Yes, they are.
Does it matter?
I think they win that one.
In October, just before Halloween, really?
Hey, we always have one of those trick or treat games.
Don't
That would
talk
be
to me
it.
about no Halloween week. I don't want to hear about no Halloween.
That would be the game.
No.
That would be the game.
Touche. Well, they have their bye week, and when they come back from the bye week, they're in New England. So
yeah, so they win that one and then have win going to the bye week. Then do it for Angry Belichick.
And then they get the Bears. And then
that can be a win. That can be a win.
But then they're at Minnesota, at Buffalo.
That's an L.
They get Detroit.
L.
Then they get Jacksonville on a Thursday night game.
Thursday night games are tricky to me.
I was gonna say 4 days later, you go from Sunday to Thursday, so you get a short week for Jacksonville, and then you got to go cross country. You're at Seattle, and then you're at Miami to finish.
And they lose. They only got them having 3 wins. Ouch.
Yeah, that's ugly.
Mm-hmm. Like we said, we were just trying to say 5 and be nice.
I can't give y'all 5 when they don't get 5. Not with Zach Wilson as quarterback.
All right, the hard
Joe
one.
Flacco.
Here we go.
Zach Wilson over there banging all them milfs. Need to leave him alone.
The Miami Dolphins. Patriots week 1, in Baltimore week 2.
They're at home for week 1.
Yes.
Okay, I got them.
We know New England has a hard time winning in Miami.
Yeah, I got Miami winning that one.
In Baltimore week 2. Buffalo in week 3 at home.
Buffalo wins.
At Cincinnati.
That's a fight.
That's an
At
L.
the Jets.
Well, that's the L. And they win it back.
At the Jets.
Yeah, then he said
he said he was going to get a win against Miami. He said the Jets were going to beat Miami the first time.
All right. Minnesota.
That's a loss.
Pittsburgh.
Should be a win.
Win.
At Detroit.
Win.
At Chicago.
I said that one, didn't I?
Cleveland.
Oh, I said loss against Detroit.
Then Cleveland, then the bye week, then Houston.
Cleveland gonna be a dog fight.
Yeah. Cleveland's gonna be a dogfight, and Miami too.
And
Cleveland usually does well down in Miami too. That's the funny thing.
then you got Houston, which should be a win.
It should be a win.
At San Francisco, at the Chargers, at the Bills. That is 3 hard weeks right there.
3 hard weeks. I'd say they get at least one out of that, and I'm
Where?
I don't.
Maybe the Chargers? Maybe.
I would
That's a
ride
big
on maybe San Francisco.
Well, no, because that's the first one. I mean, if you're smart, you just stay out there for the first 2 weeks. For those 2 weeks of December, you stay out on the West Coast. Why are you going to try to fly back when all you got to do is just take the puddle jumper down to LA a week later? Then you're at Buffalo. Then you play the Packers, at the Patriots, and then finish with the Jets. So we got them bringing in at 3. Yes, no, maybe.
Did you say 3, as in 3 total?
No, as in the third team.
Third team in the division? I agree.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
And then, of course, next up is the Patriots, who we just said would probably lose in Miami. And then they're at Pittsburgh,
That's a win.
Baltimore, at home.
That's a
Should be a
win.
loss. That's a loss.
They're in Baltimore.
Ravens, at home? No.
Yeah, I
it's-
was gonna say I think
it's
that's a
in New
win
England.
because they're at home. If
It's
they was
in
on the
New
road, I'd
England.
say the L.
It's in New England.
It's in New England.
Yeah, it's a win.
So, us
New England's gonna win.
Then they're at Green Bay.
That's a L.
Then they get Detroit
should be a
at
win.
home.
Should be a win.
Yeah, it's
Then
probably
they're-
gonna be.
That could be a tricky game right there, though.
Then they're at Cleveland.
That should.
I think they'll beat. I said this on edges. They beat Cleveland, so I'm.
I said New England was a loss if Jacoby is going to play.
Chicago Bears next on Monday night.
That's a win.
At the Jets.
Yes,
That's a
game.
win.
How do you make that a Monday night game?
How you make the Falcons and the Jets a Monday night game?
At the Jets. Then the
That's a win.
Colts.
L.
That's where I think it's going to ride that one on the Colts is going to be, I think, a good fight because in Indy or in New England.
It's in New England.
Oh yeah. See,
Oh, that's an L.
I would say.
Yeah, New England. Oh no, New England's winning that because at home.
Yeah, I'm riding New England on that one.
Jets at home.
What's flashing?
No, they're beating the Jets.
At Minnesota.
See, I think I said that was the one Minnesota.
That's gonna be
won.
an L. I think they lose to Minnesota.
What week was that?
Thanksgiving.
Yeah, I know. I said New England was winning the Thanksgiving game. Yeah.
Then Buffalo at home.
I think they win that one. They split with Buffalo.
I don't know. I don't think that would be a split.
At Arizona and at Vegas.
They
If they
beat
lose to
Arizona,
Buffalo,
lose
I
to
say they beat Arizona.
beat Arizona. They lose to Vegas.
They're gonna beat both of them. I don't trust the Vegas thing worth the darn.
What did it say?
Next
I just
up,
think because that game, I think Vegas would be playing for something.
yeah.
They'll be
Well,
playing for playoff seed or like playoff position.
well, remember, it is Belichick versus Josh Daniels. Josh McDaniels.
Ooh.
Hello.
Does he give him a present?
Yeah, I think Josh definitely gets his ass whooped.
I don't know, I remember Josh beat him before when he was in Denver.
Bro, damn.
I'm sorry, was that Peyton Manning who beat Bill in Denver?
No, that was Kyle Orton. That's the year they started off like 9-3, and then they like lost the rest of their game.
Yeah. After that, it's Cincinnati at home.
L.
Really?
Yeah.
It
does
is
now.
Christmas Eve. It is Christmas Eve.
And Santa's coming to Cincinnati.
New Year's Day, Miami Dolphins at home. I think that one's the win.
They won
Yeah.
that one.
And then they're at Buffalo.
To
Wow.
end the
I
season?
don't win in the first one.
Yes.
I'm losing
To
that.
end the
No.
season, they're in Buffalo.
No.
Yeah.
I think they split with Buffalo.
Okay.
It's my sister's team. Buffalo is. I told her that
Oh,
too.
we're
I'm like,
headed, we're headed to them next.
You're a big baby.
Buffalo starts with tons of fun. They open up the season that Thursday nighter against the Rams in LA. The Super Bowl game we were supposed to have.
Oh, Jesus
Oh,
Christ.
did I say that out loud?
That
Okay, when did Jim Kelly show up?
Wow. Really? Really?
I swear to God, if Buffalo literally does this 4 years in a row with this quarterback, I will fucking die. And Buffalo will have to move out of Buffalo.
I think Buffalo lose that one.
I could see him losing this one, and it, I don't want to say wake up call after week 1, but it could very well be the.
I don't
let's
think
knock
so.
this fucked up.
Remember, there is a specific defensive player who left the Rams to go to Buffalo. It's like, hello, I now get to hit Matthew Stafford. Thank you very much, and can I have some more?
Didn't he get the chance to hit Matthew Stafford before when he played against Detroit?
He's experienced at it.
Yeah, one time. Really? When? When?
What do you mean when?
Do you know who the hell we're talking about?
But he ain't.
I know you're talking about Aaron Donald.
No,
You're talking about Von Miller.
Yeah. When did Von Miller play against Detroit?
How long has he been in Denver?
Oh, I just can't. No, all the way out.
The show's going too long. Going too long. We ain't got time for this.
We got to get through this. All right.
I'm eating
Week
on air.
2,
Sorry.
Tennessee
Win.
That's a win.
at Miami. Week 3.
I think that's a win. Personally, that's me. You guys think more of Miami than I do.
At Baltimore.
Yeah, it's a win.
Yeah. Baltimore probably puts up a fight. I still see Buffalo winning it.
Week 5, Pittsburgh. Should be a win.
Should be.
Yeah, well, I was gonna say, the wonderful world of Mitch Trubisky, who just left Buffalo. He might have a few secrets to share, but I don't think the defense is going to hold up. The always fun game. It happens early at Kansas City, week 6.
Okay.
At Kansas City.
It's in Kansas City.
Buffalo should win, although they're one of these that we think they're going to win. Just because
I think they lose that one.
Yeah,
they could. They could lose.
They could though. They should. They could win it too though. I can see that as a win. I just think I'm really just picking them to take an L because Kansas City at home. I think
it's one of those, we have to put an L somewhere because it's the NFL. Nobody's going to go 16-1.
Right.
At least you're playing Matt.
Right.
Yeah, I think that's a lost one too. Bye week in week 7. At home against the Packers on a Sunday night.
You just had 2 weeks to think about losing to Kansas City.
Yep. That should be.
Aaron Rodgers is going to need 3 Hail Marys.
Yeah.
And I don't see that happening.
Nope.
At least they listen to Tupac for every quarter.
At the Jets Week 9.
Yeah, okay.
Why even ask that?
I know. Week 10, Minnesota comes into Buffalo.
Nah, not in Buffalo. That's
Yeah, that's a L.
that's a W.
I mean, yeah, that's a win. That's a win. My fault. They're beating Minnesota.
The
They're beating Kirk
Browns.
Cousins.
The Browns go to Buffalo in Week 11.
That's a dub. They're beating the Browns.
Now that is that's right. It was 11, so they got to wait until Week 12. Week 12 at Detroit.
Yeah, it's Thanksgiving.
Yeah, that's Thanksgiving. Okay,
That's a
never mind.
Thanksgiving game.
Next,
Have a
next-
turkey leg.
next at New England, Week 13.
Y'all sleeping on that game. I think Detroit played them boys close. They lose. I mean, they win, but Detroit plays them close though.
For the first quarter.
For the coin toss.
Hey, I was at least giving them the
Hey.
first quarter. I was giving them the first quarter, Dave. Come on. I was at least giving them the
He
first
He said,
Here's
he said, I see them play every year.
I mean, it could be a fun game to watch. The problem right now that I am seeing is we have no linebacker play whatsoever,
No.
and Allen is just going to eat us up.
I was gonna say I've got better linebackers on my 8th grade
Start all
squad.
your running backs against the Lions like last year, huh?
I was gonna say I've got better linebackers on my 8th grade squad than what the heck the Lions have.
I mean, honestly, that week you might actually be able to start Devin Singletary.
Oh,
Maybe
damn, that's bad.
that'd be the only week.
Touche. Okay, so the at New England we say is an L.
I think that's an L. Again, they got to pick up another L here somewhere.
The Jets in Buffalo is next.
Nah.
They're showing the Miami Dolphins. It is a home game. They just haven't. It says TBD. So in other words, they could flex it depending on
It could be a flex
Right.
game.
schedule.
Yeah.
That could
know.
be a game that they flex,
Yeah.
depending on how things are looking.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Because if they're looking
So
good,
that's
that could be a good game.
So
It could
is
be
that
a
a
good game.
that's December in Buffalo?
Yes, the week before Christmas.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
So you've
Tua's not about
got
to go up.
Tyreek
Tua's not about to
Hill.
go up there in cold weather and
You got Tyreek Hill. You have Mostert. You've got Waddle.
Mostert is hurt by then.
Tyreek Hill ain't never played in cold weather neither, really.
It gets cold in Kansas City. Kansas City's not,
Man,
come
Miami's losing that game.
All right.
Buffalo beats them.
At the Chicago. Never mind.
What week is that?
That's Christmas Eve.
What week is that? Like week
Week 16.
16? Okay.
You know what?
16.
I'm gonna say it's a win for this sole reason. Because I think the Bills will have everything clinched up. They're just saving bodies. They're just gonna rest everybody.
not 3 weeks. No, not 3 weeks out. Not 3
I was
weeks
gonna
out.
say
no.
you get rusty if you're 3 weeks
You're
out.
not gonna do 3 weeks out because after that, you have the Cincinnati Bengals on Monday Night Football for Week 17, and then you finish with the Patriots in Buffalo. You're at Cincinnati and then New England at home.
Buffalo Cincinnati could be for the bye in the playoffs.
And
that's gonna be a fun game.
And New England is also TBD, which means they're looking to flex that game too. They're looking to flex it if it's an important matchup.
You know what? Those last 2 weeks, if you're ready for the playoffs, you show us you're ready for the playoffs.
Yeah. Yeah, you can't, unless you literally, after the Monday night game, you have everything locked up. You're playing everybody against the Patriots.
Yeah.
You totally are. But yeah, I mean, there's only 2 or 3 losses there, maybe. That's it. That's a strong team. That's a strong schedule. That would give Buffalo the best record overall out of everybody. You're literally looking at
Look back at that schedule. It's one of them games.
15. You're looking at 15-2 or 14-3. That's the best record in the NFL.
Yep.
Which should definitely give you the number one spot. I mean, and like I said, against New England, if you're not going to, unless you're going to, bench everybody, that would drop you to 4 losses. But I mean, because you've picked up the bye. I mean, I don't know. I don't think you turn around and take the chance. But then again, we've seen that bye week can hurt you too.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's definitely a year that the Bills put up or shut up. It's that simple. The Bills have to put up or shut up. They literally do. And according to the schedule, it's like it should be their season. This Akers is right. It's like if Buffalo doesn't do it this year, what else do you have? So
Yeah, this is the year. Everything's lined up.
Well, I mean, like I said, when Kevin said Rams repeat, I'm like, it's always somebody else's turn. I mean, Buffalo just seems to be staring you in the face. Now, it never works that way.
No,
But
because Indy 2 years ago had the number one offensive line, defensive line, and were supposed to cruise right on through. And they fell apart by week 9, and it was over. So, yeah, it's a lot of pressure on Buffalo this year. It is. That is a lot of pressure on that team, without a doubt. But yeah, I'd say it would be Buffalo, and then I mean, yeah, it could be the Rams again, or it's going to be the Packers. I mean, like I said, the Rams lost a little bit more on defense, and that's why, for everybody who was taking up the Rams defense, it was like, well, good luck. They've lost a few pieces. So I don't know about the Rams defense.
don't even worry yourself. I got it. Wait a minute.
Well, I'm about to head on out, y'all. I'm about to finish eating.
Did he seriously to call you wrong again? 2015 Von Miller, a hit on Stafford, Denver wins 24. Really? You're gonna go one once? You got one. Really? One.
It's Akers. And I'm out. See y'all Saturday. Oh, Saturday.
Yep. See you Saturday at 6.
See ya.
Yep. I'll be coming in hot from Bryce's football game. Already got everything squared away.
All right.
For everybody who caught up with us, thanks for hanging in the late. And for those catching the replay, go ahead and drop your comments in. See what we've done, what you like, what we didn't like, and we'll catch y'all on the flip side for the big draft, fantasy football draft of the Dueling Aces League next week. See ya.